Our next speaker, Mayor Francisco Isko Moreno Dumagoso, started early in politics and became the youngest ever elected city councilor, the youngest ever elected city vice mayor, and the youngest ever elected as mayor of the city of Manila. He is the 27th mayor of Manila. His vibrant information story has captivated the imagination of many people in the country, business leaders and foreign diplomats alike. U.S. Ambassador Song Kim described him the total rock star. Mayor Isko Moreno served as the Manila Vice Mayor for 9 years and was already a member of the Sangguniang Panglungsod while he was only 23 years old. Mayor Isko finished his 3 terms as councilor. Despite his humble beginnings, Mayor Isko pursued and nourished his unwavering passion for learning. Not only he reads books, especially about great world leaders, but also appreciates the value of think tanks. In 2012, Mayor Isko attended the Executive Education Program of John F. Kennedy School of Government in Harvard University. A year later, he finished the Emerging Leaders Executive Program in the same university. In the same year, Mayor Isko completed the Oxford Strategic Leadership Program in SAID Business School, University of Oxford. He is also a product of an executive education program of the UP National College of Public Administration and Governance. Mayor Isko Moreno received his Doctor of Humanities on Community Development degree from the Pamantasan ng Lungsod ng Manila in the year 2014, a fitting recognition of his 18 years of community service while serving Manila as city councilor and vice mayor. With his background, he was appointed by President Rodrigo Duterte as Undersecretary for Special Projects of the Department of Social Welfare and Development. Prior to this, Mayor Isko Moreno was appointed by President Duterte as Chairman and President of the North Rail Corporation. Mayor Isko studied law at the Arellano University School of Law. 3 years after graduating from International Academy of Management and Economics with a degree in Bachelor of Science in Business Administration. Some of the prestigious awards and recognitions he received include the Most Outstanding Filipino in the Field of Public Service Award from Gawat America Foundation, an institution based in Hollywood, California, USA, and as one of the top 10 men who matter by People Asia magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor to present to you the man who grew up in the slums in Tondo and who is now tasked to rebuild the capital city of the country, the Honorable Francis Isko Moreno Dumagoso, the Mayor of Manila.
Maraming salamat sa tagapagpakilala. Mas mahaba yung sasabihin na beses. Well, to our distinguished guests, especially teka nawawala yung kodigo ko. Anyway, ganito lang po. Una, maraming salamat sa inyo. I think you've been here since 9 a.m. And I'm happy to hear some data, analysis, studies of different sectors and different government agencies. And I'm happy to know that there are a lot of people who are really concerned about the environment. And in fact, just so you know, with regard to Metro Manila, ang Maynila po ang tagasalo ng basura niyo lahat. It will pass through water. Everything will end up to Manila. There was some, not all, misconception about dumi ng Maynila. Yes, marami ang Maynila, no question. But I think it's high time also for you to know, especially with my colleagues in other cities. Malaking portion nun sa amin lang napupunta. Ito masakit. So that you'll have geographical vision. We may have all the data in these studies and everything. Habang binabambo kami ng basura galing sa tubig from the eastern part, binabambo rin kami ng basura from the western part. As you can see, Manila Bay is Cove Bay. Water's coming in from, anong tawag nila doon sa tubig na yun? Yung dagat. Ang dami ng pangalan ng dagat na yun. Dito sa West Philippine Sea. I think Ambassador del Rosario will agree with me. There's so many names and names and names. But that's not the topic. The topic is nature. Now, nature will dictate, and I think logic will dictate among right minds. So after we catch all those debris from the east part of Metro, binabambo rin kami ng basura ng Batangas, Laguna, Cavite, Las Piñas. Same thing with Bataan, Pampanga, Bulacan, and portion of Malabon na Botas. Kasi po yung Maynila, nasa tumbok. Yung alon, lahat papasok sa amin. Kaya makikita niyo yung bagyo. Pag bagyo, makikita niyo ang basura ng Manila Bay, portion of Manila, not the entirety, portion of it, sa aming sasalo, sa likod ng Embahada ng Estados Unidos at saka ng Manila Yacht Club. And there's one good thing about this situation. You may have all the specialty in PhD on environmental protection. Ako po may specialty, more than PhD, sa paghakot sa basura. So I understand garbage, and I know where it came from. So now, having this type of geographical challenge, as Manila, talagang you will see more often na talagang dagsa yung basura sa Manila. But don't get us wrong. Nilagay ko lang yung konsepto ninyo para magkaroon kayo ng idea. Ito ang biggest challenge namin. Plus the fact that Manila is surrounded by creeks and rivers, bukod sa Baisa. Plus, isang malaking challenge talaga namin is ISF. Na nakatira sa tabing ilog. And I'm happy with the national government approach with regard to informal settlers and clearing and giving easement. And I'm happy with Unilever. Sila ay isa sa mga pabrika namin na matitino sa lungsod ng Maynila. They're doing very good. We want them to stay because they're taking care of the portion of that creek in Santibanez line. There's an old railroad in the back of Unilever. So, yan po mga kaibigan, mga kababayan. Araw-araw na ginawa ng Diyos. That's why, ano yung nagsabi kanina about mindset? You, Dr. Engineer Ludwig. Yes, yun ang ginagamble namin. I mean, pinupuhunan namin yun to change the mindset of our people on how to keep their garbage sa tamang sisiglan. I think, while I'm happy that manufacturing companies are addressing some adapting some scientific discovery about, what you call that, biodegradable plastic. or some measures on buyback concept like what Unilever is doing, and or monetary or in exchange of meron kaming programa kasi as part of our policy, yung yung pagkain sa basura. Yung basura, kukolektahin namin, pero nakasegregate sa bahay. Palit ng points, and points, katumbas ng pagkain. It's going to be launched and it's part of the 2020 budget. Now, alam ko kanina pa kaya sabi ng umaga, nakikinig nyo daw delitas. I would rather shut up and sit there. And in my own little way, I'll try to address your queries. Dahil alam kong gusto nyo magtanong. So, thank you very much, Ambassador Rosario, for this opportunity to the member of the staff base sa aking kasamahan na kaibigan ko po yan, si Mayor Joy Belmonte, at sa lahat sa inyo rito. Maraming salamat sa pagkakataon na ito at mapakinggan ninyo ang lungsod ng Maynila saan nga pa kami papunta at anong layunin namin. Especially with, you all talk about plastic. I think for the past 30 minutes I've been sitting here talking about plastic. I'm going to talk about the air. You asked me about the air. Kasi if there's problem with plastic, may problema rin kayo sa bagat. Lahat kayo. Lahat tayo. Especially if you have an office in Lawton. So anyway, thank you very much. I'm fortunate and honored able to be here. Maraming salamat po. Uupo na po ako.
We'd like to call on our panelists for this session. Mr. Joel Palma, Mr. Ludwig Frederick, still here? Yeah. And I'd like to introduce now. Yeah. The moderator for this session, the trustee and program convener of Strat-based ADR Institute. Please welcome Dr. Francisco Magno.
Good afternoon. So now we realized the power of the environmental adage, think global, act local. So what we now have are distinguished panelists who are in the thick of action. As you notice, they have very short presentations, but the presentations are full of action from the local government units and also from the civil society, NGO world. So now, I have my own questions, but I would like to open the forum for questions from the audience. Please state your name and your organization, and who do you want to answer your question? There are microphones. Our good friend Nonoy.
Bindrido Plus from Minimal Government Thinkers. I have one comment and one question. My comment is that we hear too many crises, climate crisis, garbage crisis, plastic crisis, etc. The purpose is just to extract more taxes, oil tax, coal tax, electricity tax, subsidies, soon plastic tax, okay? So whatever government we have, less rain or more rain, less flood or more flood, this time we send more money to the government, to Al Gore. We donate more money to Greenpeace and World Wildlife Fund. So I think that it's not a good model. If you look at climate change, for the past purpose, we have climate change, warming, cooling, just a comment. My question is for Mayor Isko. And I think that the R2 reclamation, it was solid waste before. It was an ugly mountain of garbage, then it became a real estate project. So my question is, why don't you get some of the solid waste and use it for land reclamation? China is stealing land from buying many land just to have land reclamation in the ocean. Maybe you can expand Manila by having expanded land reclamation using solid waste. Thank you.
Thank you. Pangalan niyo? Nonoy. Thank you. Una, just to be consistent, I can turn back time. If I was the mayor then, I will not sign that contract regarding reclamation. But you know, there is what you call also in business, stability and certainty, especially when there's change of administration. You really have to respect contracts. Be careful in addressing this type of contracts entered into by your predecessors. Ako, may pagkilala naman ako sa batas. Kaya, whatever contracts that they have signed with regard to reclamation in Manila, basta ako passive. As long as they will comply with rules and regulations, issuances of the national government, then so be it. But I, for one, will not extend any more further just to have a commercial complex like BGC in the west part of the city, except for, if given a chance, I hope, like in the case of ADI and ICTSI, no? And Northport, no? With regard to Pier 2 and Pier 4. And I've been telling them, if given a chance, reclaim that portion of port to make it a logistical hub so that trucks will not go outside of the port. Like, I was fortunate enough to be sent to Hong Kong port, and I studied, and nagmuni-muni ako, sort of say. Magtataka ka sa Hong Kong, one of the busiest port, pero walang truck sa Hong Kong. Pansinin ninyo, walang 40-footer na lumalabas because there's a logistic hub inside the port. So I want to create more space to create logistic hub so that there will be more 40-footer trailer na mas matindi pa kung magbuga ng usok sa pabrika ng isang plastic company. So that's why, with regard to reclamation, the only exception is the industrial part of the city to address environmental problem with regard to our air pollution brought by X number of trucks flying by the western road of the city. Now, again, go back to reclamation na yung tinampak nilang basura. Ano yung sabi niyo, Manong, yung basura tinambak nila pwede yung basura itambak sa lupa, sa dagat. That is more hazardous. I am not a technical guy. Because I believe, bilang basurero, may methane yun eh. Ninilinghap nga namin yun araw-araw eh. We are immune to methane air. Kaya, you know, modesty aside, may awa ang Diyos. In a few weeks from now, about 3 months ago, I asked an institution, literally, commission a study. Hopefully, you will come up with a result with regard to the effects of methane of the old Smoky Mountain. Because there's an old garbage there. Baka nakakalimutan nyo na, it's still part of our geography, you know, in the northern part of Tondo. Thanks to President Ramos, he made some portion of it as to address ISF in that area, no? They have now decent living, and thanks to former President Macapagal-Arroyo, thanks to former President Noynoy Aquino, tuloy-tuloy yung development. Thanks to all those presidents who are giving in-city there, I mean housing. But, still, doon pa rin yung Smoky Mountain. At pag umuulan, kaya ho siya tinawag na Smoky Mountain, just so you know, pag umuulan, I don't know, may mga scientists pag naulan, umuusok. Because of the chemical reaction maybe of that campus. And I cannot allow, and I will not allow, and I swear to God, even though I don't have facts, but logic will dictate among right minds. I will not allow that garbage to be thrown in our water. No way. Puro plastic yun, baka akala ninyo. Mukha lang siyang lupa. Pag pinalang ninyo yun, mukhang ang dami ng plastic doon, limasin ko. Kasi yun yung plastic bilang basurero ako, yun yung plastic na hindi nabibili sa junk shop. Ang kinukuha namin basura, yung PE. Kasi yung PE ang nabibenta ulit. Pero yung magaspang na plastic, yung pinagbalutan ng damit, hindi ko nabibili. Yun, nandoon yung sa smoke. So, if you are addressing plastics in our waters, then we're going to reclaim using this type of garbage or this type of mass. Nagdagdag ka rin. Para lang may isang politiko yan eh. Nagtapon muna ng basura bago din ang yung basura. So, I'm not that type of politician or I have respect with other politicians. I always try to address situation in a very practical, if there's a way to be more efficient and quick. Because I think there are presentations here that we're losing time. So we have to catch up with time. So, gusto ko yung sinabi mo kanina, yung unang tanong, nandiyan ako. We don't need any more laws. There's too much laws in our country. Kaya dami ng batas. The question is, kami nila Joy, ako, mga executive, local chief executive, because yan yung portion ng gobyerno, magpapatupad. Napapatupad ba namin yung mga batas na yun? Because batas lang yan na naisulat, kung hindi yan ipatutupad, baliwala yan, nagkukwentuhang laway lang tayo. So I don't think that there will be more laws needed to address this problem. In fact, we have enough. And I hope the national legislatures use the power of oversight instead of the power to legislate. Are these laws being implemented properly? Because buti nga si Joy, meron na silang yung rules na hindi. Kailangan na you follow this ordinance before issuance of permits, regulatory measures. Kami, go there, basta lilinisin ko muna yung kalye. Tuturuan ko yung tao na huwag maging dugyot. Huwag tayong maging salaula. Siguro we start with that. And kami naman natutuwa dahil unti-unti, Cemex, Republic Cement, Unilever is helping us. I think for the past 1 month, if I'm not mistaken, we've gathered 42 tons of plastic. Can you imagine that in 1 month? And I'm only in my 5 months. So, what more we can do with private sector? So, kayong mga nakikinig dito, halika kayo lahat sa Manila. Apo, welcome kayo lahat sa Manila, like what Unilever is doing, like Cemex and I think Republic Cement is doing. Everybody is welcome to have Manila. Rest assured that the Manila government will be more, nowadays, more receptive. Because we've been working hand in hand with the DNR, the national government. Alam mo, ito nga pala, mabanggit ko lang. Total, sa chance ko na. May awa ang Diyos. May awa ang Diyos. You know, I was fortunate to listen to DNR in a meeting. They gave me an idea that for Manila to be ecologically sound, we need to make open green space, 1,600 hectares of open green space. That's what they said. Thanks to them. And with that, now we have a goal. We have a target. And I asked them, is that the horizontal alone? Sabi sa akin, what do you mean, sir? Horizontal, di ba? Pagtatanim ng puno, pag kinukwenta nyo ba o kinukwantify nyo, pahalang lang. Bakit? Because I have an idea. You know, in a modern world, they are now utilizing space vertically. That's why, sabi nyo, we'll quantify it. So that's why you can, I hope, Ma'am Noy, pumasyal kayo sa Jones Bridge. You will see na yung aming pagkilos. Because that is the focal point of vertical cranes in the city of Manila. That is the testing ground. Pinaka-polluted, mainit, walang source of water. Bridge has no source of water. Yan ang na-hammer. Doon kami nag-hammer test because we're gonna build more green space. That's why I'm taking back parks, open space, creating more greens in the city of Manila. I think I'm happy that the national government and mga gentlemen here are now addressing plastics in waters, wastewater, and with Manila Water is doing in our own little way. Ang partisipasyon namin sa inyo, pipilitin namin maging malinis ang hangin sa lungsod ng Manila, particularly ang local. And I'm grateful to 3M. They're going to provide us X number of AQM. I'm grateful to DNR. They're going to give us 2 heavy-duty AQM because ang tubig may science na para maging malinis. Simula sa pinakamaruming tubig, dumaan sa science, sa makina, sa dulo, pwede mo nang inumin. So ang tubig, pwedeng i-cure. Pero wala pa ako nakitang pwedeng makina na maglilinis ng hangin sa pangkalahatan. And I think the best way to do it is to create more plants and trees. I think in a long-term process. So, yun lang, Noy. Pasensya ka na, talagang I'm not for reclamation. It's just that merong kontrata, itutuloy nila yung reclamation. Sinabi halimbawa ng national government, okay, approve BECC, pinag-aralan, ligtas, hindi makapapamisala sa kapaligiran, then we'll go for it. Other than that, the 5 contracts signed by my predecessor, I don't know why they are now overlapping. They're overlapping among each other, those contracts. Other than that, no more, please. Spare naman ng ilagay. Ganda-ganda naman yung dagat namin. Pero nagagabihan natin dito. Wala. Sayang, papasalamatan ko sila personal. Because you will be surprised on what they did via Ross Boulevard. Creating a development that will address dirty water, makina o yung ginawa nila bago lalabas sa Manila Bay na malinis na ito. Maraming salamat sa dinner. And I think it's going to be finished in a couple of weeks now. May awa nito. So I wish them well and I will support them. So thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor Isko Moreno. Emphasize that we have so many laws already. We are rich in laws, but perhaps are we poor in implementation, but not with our very active mayors here, or very progressive and very enterprising with a lot of initiatives. So my question is to Mayor Joy Belmonte. You outlined a lot of programs that actually implement existing policies, existing legislation. But I think there is also room for local ordinances because it's customized implementation. So my question to Mayor Joy, how do we monitor the effectiveness of these programs? Because this is also an opportunity to upscale many of the innovations that you're doing to see the proof of concept, the impact. Mayor Joy.
Well, I talked about several, but siguro I'll just mention one, which is, one is, we passed this when I was still the vice mayor. This is the plastic bags regulatory ordinance. So we didn't want to ban plastic bags on the onset because we wanted to give people the opportunity to adjust. According to my friend Mayor Isko, he always talks about mindset. So mindsets have to be conditioned, and that takes time, and you have to train people to change their mindset. So with regulation, you can still use plastic bags provided you pay for them if you go to a grocery store. And after 5 years, we conducted another public consultation. By the way, we earned several hundred millions from that. Now, because the funds earned from that, 2 pesos per plastic bag, has to be used towards environmental projects together with the private sector. So the private sector and the government agree on it. And we made several hundreds of pesos already, hundreds of thousands of pesos on that already. And that was one way of monitoring. We had an audit to go around different malls, etc., and to check on their implementation, and I think that was quite successful. But what was a wonderful thing was when we decided to ban plastic bags altogether, we held 4 public consultations. And at first we were thinking to just increase the cost of the plastic bag from 2 pesos to maybe 10 pesos, as a further deterrent. But all of the malls, all of the establishments, all unanimously said that we would like to ban completely. So it came from the people themselves. And I think that when a decision or a policy comes from the people themselves, I think that implementation becomes much easier. Now, with regards to banning single-use plastics, we had consistent and intensive public consultations there, maybe 4 or 5 or 6 with hotels, restaurants, etc. And they agreed that they needed lead time, no? So, kasi that would ban dine-in lang muna. Huwag muna yung take-out. So again, change of mindsets require some kind of conditioning. So sa dine-in at least, huwag na muna tayong gumamit ng plastic cutlery, huwag tayong gumamit ng plastic na baso, and other disposable materials. Pero sa take-out, pwede pa rin, no? So, yun, may unanimous agreement na rin dun sa lahat ng mga stakeholders na kinonsult namin. So I think that, to answer your question, I think that we cannot take away public consultations, and I think that every time there is a public consultation, you must take into consideration all the comments of the